Good afternoon, friends. Happy Wednesday. I'm getting a little bit later start doing my devotion. It's not really morning, it's actually afternoon, and I'm leaving for church here pretty soon. It's been a crazy busy day. I've got so many updates to give you guys very soon. Lots of things are happening right now. I've got a lot of stuff on my plate, but I will share that with you guys in another video. But today I want to share with you a devotion that just really spoke to me this morning. And it's something that has been heavy on my heart for a while. And so I'm glad that this devotion came up today because I just really had been praying about, I pray about it every week, what devotion am I going to share? And, what do you have for me, Lord, on Wednesday morning to share with anybody that watches this video? And I just really pray for him to speak through me. And this devotion came up this morning and I thought, okay, Lord, I get it. I understand now what you're telling me. And so this is also from the 3-minute devotion for women. My sweet friend Nicole from Lazy Creek Homestead sent me for Christmas. And this is powerful. For some of you guys, you know that my husband and I do devotion every morning before he leaves for work. We have been we read every single morning the armor of God. And in the book of Ephesians, we read it all the way through. And it's just become a part of our morning. It's a way for us to prepare ourselves before he leaves the house to go to work, before I leave the house, whenever I do later that day, to go do whatever it is that I need to go do. Reading the armor of God just really puts us in a mindset of protection and what we get as being followers of Jesus. And so this morning, this devotion was called Lasting Strength, and it is part of the armor of God. If you guys are not familiar with the armor of God, I will leave a link in the description box for you guys to read the whole armor of God in the book of Ephesians. But this one was just the very beginning, and it says, finally be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. And when you think about the power that God has, that is just such an incredible thing to think about and to just be in awe of the power that he has. The power over everything, the power over absolutely every single thing. You read the scriptures and he had power over the seas. He had power over the storms. He had power over the floodwaters. He had power over all of these things. And that's just a glimpse of the power that he has. But this devotion says, where do we draw our strength? Do we think it comes from a good workout? You could, in some ways. Do we believe that we'll be strong if we get enough sleep at night? I don't get enough sleep. Or eat a healthy breakfast. Those are all beautiful energy boosters, but they do not provide the real strength that daily life requires. Sometimes we need physical strength. Other times it's strength that allows us to hold up under stress and sorrow. Or perhaps we need strength in battle. We need strength to battle feelings of frustration and impatience and find ourselves experiencing whatever the reason for our need. The source of strength is always the same, God. His strength isn't temporary. It won't wear out over time. There's no waiting for him to order a fresh supply or worrying that he isn't enough. His strength is there continually, an outgrowth of his mighty power. Stop reaching for the energy that fades, asking instead for his strength. Our God supplies. And I think all too often, I'm guilty of this myself so many times. I think all too often we forget to go to him. We forget to ask him. We forget to pray about it. We immediately go into the battle. We immediately go into the stressful situation. We immediately go into all of these things and we stop. We forget to stop and pray. We forget to stop and ask him, God, give me the energy, give me the strength, give me the knowledge, give me the wisdom, give me the whatever it is that I need for this. If your kids are driving you crazy, Lord, give me patience with them. Because the last thing you'd want to do is have a harsh word with them, because it's so hard to take those things back. And you don't want to have a harsh word with your husband or with your wife. You don't want to have a harsh word with your friend. You always want to be careful. And so we always need to stop and pray. And it's something that there's a saying from my grandmother. People laugh at this, My grandmother used to tell me all the time, would you say that if Jesus was standing behind them? And it always made me stop and think. My grandfather was that way with my grandmother. I never ever saw my grandfather lose his temper with my grandmother ever. As some of you guys know, my home life, my immediate home life was not the best. But my grandparents were a source of strength. They were an example. And I wish that I would have seen that when I was younger. I didn't see it. But I can look back now and I have memories of them. And like I said, I never once ever saw my grandfather lose his temper with my grandmother. He always treated her like a queen. He always just made sure that she knew how blessed he was to have her and for her to be his wife and for them to have the children that they had and the life that they had. And he always was thankful for her. And he made sure she knew that every single day. And I think about that now. And I'm like, what an incredible thing that they had. And it was because my grandfather loved my grandmother like he did. Because he loved her the way that Jesus told him to love her. And when we love everybody the way that Jesus tells us to love, how can we treat them horribly? How can we lose our patience with them? How can we be mean to them? How can we talk bad about them? How can we do any of these things that we do if we love like Jesus tells us to? And that's part of having strength. That's part of drawing strength from him. That's part of drawing strength. And one place that we draw our strength is through prayer, obviously. We pray for it. But we also draw our strength through his word. We draw our strength through the Bible. And reading our Bible every single day, we draw strength. We read the scriptures and we read how all of these people in the Bible, King David and Esther and Ruth and Samuel and all of these people in the Bible they drew their strength from God and then they wrote about it in the Bible. And we get to take all of that and draw strength from that. God's using them to teach us and to let us draw strength through them, through their experiences, through the things that they walked through some of the people through their time with Jesus. They spent time with him before he was crucified. And some of those people drew their strength from him, and we can draw our strength from hearing their stories. And so I just loved that this was part of the armor of God, and it's something that's very important to my husband and I that we read every single day together around the table, and it's just part of our daily life. My husband actually wears an armor around his neck on a chain that has the armor of God written on it. I got that for him. I believe it was our first Christmas after we got married. It was something that I got for him, and he wears that. It goes between that one and the cross that I got him 2 years ago for Christmas. He kind of shuffles back and forth between the two, but he wears the armor of God around his neck, and it's a constant reminder when he's at work. He works in a very dark place. It's a very worldly place. Jesus is not even around there. People hear you talking about Jesus and they flip out. And so it is a very dark environment where he works in. So he wears that armor around his neck as a reminder. And when he starts to get into a conversation with somebody, or when he starts to see something that isn't the best, he will reach up and touch that armor around his neck, and it will help him remember that he needs to pray, that he needs to draw his strength from God in that particular moment. Whatever that moment is, God will provide him with the strength to get through it, whatever it is. And that is just such an incredible feeling to know that we have a God that is that powerful, that is that gracious, that is that loving. And that's something that's just so incredible to me to think about. So friends, I hope you guys got something out of this video. I'm sorry today that it was a little bit later than normal. Like I said, it's been a really crazy day and I just have had a lot going on. So I guess I can tell you guys in this video. So our church every year hosts a banquet called Kingdom Builders, and we always have a missionary that we support, and they come to our church, and we have a big, huge lunch that day, and we get to listen to them give an update on how things are going wherever they are serving across the world. And we always do a big dinner. And this year, for the first year, I am doing it. And so I am trying to get my teams together. I'm trying to finally got the menu finalized. Just had my final meeting with the team at the church about that. Got that figured out. So now I'm just on to making my grocery list and making all the lists of all the things that have to get done and getting all of my volunteers in place, because there's going to be 400 people in our church that day for lunch. And so it's a big idea. It's a big deal for me to do this. So it's been a lot. So I've been trying to deal with that. I also have been asked to come back to work part-time. Just minimal. It's just 10 hours a week is all it is. Just helping back in the daycare where I was, but this time it's an office administrative position, and I'm helping them with their billing and with parents tours. When parents are looking at the daycare potentially to bring their kids, I will meet them there and be able to give them a tour of the facility and kind of introduce them to some of our teachers and that kind of stuff. So it's going to be exciting, and I'm excited to do it. And so that's just going to be a minimal hours, just a couple hours a day, not really a whole lot. And so that is another thing that I have going on. And I'm getting ready to leave, not this weekend, but the following weekend. One of my, she's just a big part of my heart. My sweet friend Angela, she lives up in Scappoose, Oregon, and her sweet mother lost her battle with brain cancer just a couple of months ago, and they are having her memorial service. And so I'm skipping church that Sunday, and I am escaping north, and I'm going to go up there with another friend of ours from high school. We're going to meet Ange up there. We're going to go to church together on Sunday morning and then be there to support her at her mom's memorial service. And so I have a lot of things going on right now. There's a lot of things on my plate that I'm trying to do. So today was a little busy for me, but I'm glad that I had time to sit down before I had to go to church and get this done for you guys. So I hope this speaks to you guys. I hope it speaks to your heart. If you guys have questions, don't hesitate to ask me in the comments. I'm happy to answer any questions you've got. I will, like I said, leave a link in the description box for the Armor of God if you guys are interested in reading. If you're not familiar with it, I'll post it. It's a powerful read, so I highly suggest you read it. And friends, I'm going to get hubby's dinner ready because I'm going to take him dinner tonight before our life group start. And we'll talk to you guys in the comments down below. If you guys have not yet, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean so much to me and would be such a blessing to my husband and I to have you guys a part of our YouTube family here. And just to have more love and support from you would be incredible. And hit that notification bell so you are notified every time we upload a video. I try to be consistent, but sometimes life gets in the way. It just happens when it happens. Can't help that. But I hope you guys will continue to stick around and be here to see all the incredible things that are coming up. We've got lots of fun things coming up on my channel, so you don't want to miss those. So make sure you guys are subscribed, hit that notification bell. And friends, we'll talk to you guys in the comments. Have a great rest of your day, and God bless.